Hey everybody, welcome back to Is It Kino, a podcast about the act of cinema. I am at the Kino Circle on Twitter, link in the description. Go check it out. Also known as Simian Jimmy, joined as always by the only white man I respect, LowRes Wunderbred.
Oh, thank you, Monkey, Simian Jimmy. I'm glad to be back on such a day full of conflict with this Adam ruins everything.
Yeah, it's not often that I read something on Twitter that makes me actually laugh out loud, but you calling Adam ruins everything fat on Twitter, and he actually responded to you, outraged, might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen on that website.
You know, there's been a lot of heated debate about the Writers Guild strike, and I just, there's a picture of Adam picketing has really made the rounds, and I noticed his shirt was like one size too small. I didn't even call him fat. I said his shirt was unflattering. And he said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" That's what he said to me.
Well, and then when you retweeted that one, that's when you really went for the jugular, I think, with your follow-up.
Well, he needs to know. I mean, clearly this is something that like hit him deep, hit him hard. He had to do it. He had to reply. He knew there was nothing to gain, but he had to do it.
Yeah, you're not even a big account either. Like you're not.
No.
Are you verified even? Anyway, we also have to introduce Rich McCoy.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about fucking my mother on this episode.
Whoa!
Oh, wait. Hold on. I think I misspoke there.
Yeah, Rich, we were saving that for the After Dark Patreon exclusive podcast.
Well, there's a little teaser for you.
Uh-oh. And the man who enjoyed Beau is Afraid the most, the Kino Corner.
I want to say something about, I think that what LowRes said was very nice. So I have a gay friend who runs a modeling agency, and he told me when I was in New York, he said that calling people fat is nice because that motivates them to lose weight and become attractive.
Oh, it's true. I just did 2 snack tester videos with Aggie, and I'll admit, every time I lose this 15 pounds, it somehow finds its way back on, and I got a few comments. The video's not even out yet. Like, just from my Patreon exclusive preview comments, they wanted to let me know I'm looking fat as fuck. So it does work. I have started dieting again after reading those comments.
Last 2 months I've been like hardcore dieting, and I've lost quite a lot of weight and feel very good.
So you should tweet some tips to Adam Conover.
Yeah, smoke cigarettes.
Well, actually, Adam ruins cigarettes. Actually, they're very toxic for your health. He starts
Actually, they look cool and you lose weight.
I mean, the problem with Adam ruins everything is that Adam is just going to ruin dieting for himself, and he will not be able to stick to his diet.
I feel like Kino Corner is about to ruin Beau is Afraid for everybody. Well, let's dive in. This is Ari Aster's third theatrical film, and it is my favorite of the 3.
Wow! Damn.
That's right.
Hereditary is still his best.
Ooh, I think I might be. Do you want to hear my ranking of the Ari Aster films? This might be the most unique of them all here. Number 1, Beau is Afraid. Number 2, The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. Number 3, Midsummer, and number 4 is Hereditary. That's the base take.
Above Hereditary?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes, I did.
Oh, Midsummer was so much.
Midsummer's too long.
Does that qualify for director's cut or the theatrical version?
Even director's cut. I thought all the characters were so fucking dumb in Midsummer.
Well, yeah, it's about white women. No shit.
It's not it's fun.
It's a red-pilled movie,
but it's not that good.
If I want to see an ugly retard get decapitated, I'll go to Rusty Cage's house. Anyway, LowRes, what did you think of?
It's more fun than Midsummer.
LowRes, what did you think of Beau is Afraid?
Actually, if I'm thinking about it, my ranking of the Ari Aster films probably mirrors yours, because he's a director where I will watch one of his movies, and then for like the first week after, I'll be like, all right, yeah, that was a really good, really solid film. And then I gradually start to feel tricked. I feel like, you know what? That wasn't a good movie. That movie fucking sucked. And I felt that way with Hereditary. I felt that way with Midsommar. And with Beau is Afraid, no, actually, I just like Beau is Afraid. I thought it was a very fun movie.
Nice.
I think it's my favorite of his for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
I didn't think it was funny at all.
Oh, Kino!
I was laughing throughout the fucking movie.
I thought it was like completely humorless. I thought that all the jokes like totally didn't land. It was like one guy in the audience that was laughing.
Were you at my showing? That was me.
There were like 5 or 6 people in the audience that were all busting a gut laughing the entire time. The rest of the other half of the theater was not, but we were all having a good time.
I just want to give like a demo of the audience that I was at. So it was a packed theater. It was sold out. And it's not like I was at AMC or Regal. It was the Alamo Drafthouse right in like the middle of yuppie town, Austin.
So the most pretentious people you can find on the planet.
No, it's not pretentious. It's
the Alamo Drafthouse in Austin, Texas.
It's literally all like white women in there, and like they're
nice. They must have loved this movie.
No, the kind of people that would absolutely love this movie. That's what I'm saying. It's the target demographic, sold out show, and like.
Well, I don't know about that, Kino. I feel like me personally might be the target demographic because I feel like this tapped into my sense of humor perfectly. I don't know about some random white woman being the target here.
I'm just saying it's the target demographic of like hipster couples or whatever. And there is one guy laughing. I found some of this stuff in the first like 45 minutes funny, and then after that I was checked out.
Wow.
Well,
I checked out. I checked out after like not long after he showed up at Nathan Lane's place. The pacing went to shit.
Really?
I didn't find any of it like interesting or funny.
Well, Kino, on a completely unrelated note, do you have any mommy issues? Because that might be the difference between if this is a horror film or a comedy film. It might depend on how you feel about your own mom.
I don't have any mommy issues.
Well, I guess we'll see.
I don't have any psychological issues.
Nothing.
I'm 100% sane.
Kino has made it through childhood unscathed completely.
Nah, I mean, I've seen his Joker video. I know he's full of shit. Yeah, I've seen every literally me video.
Those are from my adult issues, okay, not my childhood.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to your sophomore film because if it's going to be, the first one is about your life as a youth. I can't wait to see the twisted world of the adult Kino Corner.
Twisted world of Eggy.
That's right. Well, I imagine he's your self-insert character in your film. But let's talk about why the opening 45 minutes is so funny, and I think this movie taps into an underutilized type of comedy, and that is anxiety comedy, where a situation is so incredibly, unbelievably stressful that it becomes humorous and ridiculous and just very funny. And like we have this poor guy Beau, who we assume is suffering from some sort of anxiety disorder. But I would argue that he is perfectly rational in his fear if this is the world that he's living in.
If the world as presented is real,
and I think it is,
like making it huge in his mind and making everything the biggest obstacle, then he is living in a hell. And I feel like all of his reactions are incredibly appropriate.
Well, LowRes, you live in New York, right? Is this not a realistic depiction?
I was going to say, yeah, that kind of just feels like if you're walking down the street or getting on the subway. Maybe that's a little spicy for right now. But the crowd looks more Los Angeles, more San Francisco to me.
Because they're all homeless?
It's because they're all white. Yeah, no.
It's Los Angeles. It looked like California, but what I wanted to say is, speaking of that, even though that... intruder to his house like destroyed the house and had
wait, you mean like the entire rave? The entire rave?
40 homeless people go into his apartment.
The brown recluse had no justification biting him on the neck. But yeah, it looked more like California. I think it's supposed to be because he's really not that far away from his mom, who's like a media mogul. It seems like the distance between where he lives and where she lives is kind of like the distance between the Bay Area and LA. Or even maybe even a little bit closer, because they said it was like a 6-hour drive. And that's kind of like generally the Bay Area to like northern LA.
Okay, well, I'm glad we figured out the location of the film, Kino. I want to find out, why do you start to sour on the film when we go into Act 2?
It just like you know, I didn't like the characters. I thought that all like, especially, it's one thing when we're just on Beau and every other, and it's really just super focused on him. And then everybody on the street is almost like this sort of a part of his environment rather than being characters themselves. You know, all the homeless people, all the punks, all the like the naked masturbating stabber dude or whatever.
The birthday suit.
Yeah.
Happy birthday stabby man or whatever. Yeah,
like all these people are like part of that environment. They don't need to have characterization. No, they're like they're almost like projections of Beau's own anxiety, and I was kind of the opinion, at least until maybe the end, and I don't know, maybe this is still true, that like what we're seeing is heightened by Beau's anxiety, that it's not exactly that crazy, but then it like does stuff to show you that that actually is real, and he just lives in this like kind of absurdist city.
I do think the best read of this movie is that the insane nightmare world that he's living in is not in his own mind. It's just how he lives. And like, because like otherwise a lot of this shit later on does not make any sense. And it just becomes like him spiraling within himself, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And but then when he gets to Nathan Lane's place, Ari Aster starts to put in some more characters, and they're just not like, they're just incredibly two-dimensional.
Well, let me explain why I think this setup is very funny. It's like, it's a trope we've seen before, like the parents of a military son, they're so proud of him, but he dies, and they want to replace him with like, it's like a bum they found on the street. I've seen that a few times in media, and that's what they're doing here. But this couple also has a daughter. And the joke here, I guess, is that they're putting Beau in their daughter's bedroom instead of the dead son's bedroom, and they're making the daughter sleep on the couch. And she like really resents and hates Beau, and she's just really nasty to him. And she's like making him get high and stuff. I thought all that was very funny.
So yeah, I didn't think it was funny at all. I didn't think it was funny at all. I thought that her character was so like flat and caricature-y, but so were the parents. I mean, and like everyone is like a cartoon character.
Well, it's also, it adds into the comedic stress is that he desperately wants to go to his mom's funeral because he found out his mom died earlier in the movie, and these people are like so nice to him, but the stressful part is they won't let him leave and they keep pushing it back. That's where like the anxiety in the comedy comes from for me. It's like a horror film about people who are too nice to you.
And also, like, I think it's important to point out that like the mom and the dad that he's with are like two stage actors, like musical actors, Nathan Lane and I can't remember.
It's fucking Lion King, dude.
But Nathan Lane is fucking Timon.
Yeah.
And every time he says my brother or my dude, like, it's one of the funniest fucking things I have seen in the theater. I was rolling in the fucking aisles every time he was like, you can't go anywhere, my brother.
You know,
holy shit.
You guys are plebs for not relating Nathan Lane to his masterpiece of a movie called Mouse Hunt. That's all I'm going to say.
I've seen Mouse Hunt.
But he's also big in film. Like, he was in The Birdcage.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Kino, was that not funny too? Did you prefer La Cage aux Follies?
I mean, La Cage aux Folles.
Well, I should mention something. I should have said this at the beginning, but maybe one of the reasons why I found the movie so funny is because Mr. Joaquin Phoenix, who plays Beau, he warned everybody, hey, whatever you do, do not take mushrooms before this film. And I always like a challenge, but I did not have access to mushrooms. But E-Rich, I don't know if you know about this, E-Rich, but on the 4th of 20th every year, sometimes some people partake in certain things. and I might have had a leftover pot brownie that I ate right before this
This is new information
film.
to me. I did not know that April 20th was a significant day for some people.
Yeah, the 4th and 20th. But a long story short, I did see this film on a pot brownie, and maybe that's why I thought it was so fucking funny.
I feel like I would have liked it a lot more if I saw it high.
That's probably the preferred method of seeing this movie. Like, I think Ari Aster was probably high on something while he was making the film. Especially at the end when, spoiler alert, we see like an 8-foot or 10-foot tall penis and balls that gets stabbed.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, oh, this is a Kevin Smith moment right here.
It felt very Yoga Hosers, didn't it?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it did. It felt very Yoga Hosers. It looked like, honestly, like the penis monster looked like a giant version of the Wiener Hitlers. Yoga Hosers. Yeah,
a little bit. So you cited the pacing as a problem. I didn't have a problem with the pacing at all. A lot of people have been saying it feels like the longest movie ever. I didn't get that whatsoever, but I got that 100%. My primary gripe with this movie is the last 30 minutes. I think if you had ended on him, if you had ended on him having sex with the Parker Posey character and then she dies, which got like a huge laugh in my
this is completely still, like
you have some totally growth for that character if you end on that. But then the last 30 minutes undoes that and then brings the Beau character to an end, and I don't know. I understand what Ari Aster was doing, especially having looked into his short films after seeing the movie. Like, I think he was doing some version of like the comedic effect of a rake, where you just bring the audience along for as like you're just beating them over the head with something for as long as possible and seeing if they'll go with it because it might be funny. I don't know. It didn't really work for me that last 30.
Yeah, and also a lot of the last 30. So, spoiler alert: his mom, didn't kill herself. But that last 30, when his mom is talking, it's also almost all exposition. It's like ending the movie with an exposition dump. And I really did not like that. I was kind of like, I definitely felt the time. Like, I think in the movie was like an hour and 20 minutes in. I was like, we have to be 2 hours in already or something. And I remember looking at my watch and then being like, oh shit, it's only in like an hour 20. So I was feeling the time on that, but I wasn't necessarily hating the film. And I thought it was going to end at the sex scene because it felt like that was like this appropriate ending to everything. And it was in that last 30 minutes that it really made me hate the movie because of this exposition dump, because of the whole like penis monster in the attic and that entire super self-indulgent like trial sequence in the water at the Coliseum that's just so almost like self-victimizing, so just like self-pitying.
Maybe that's his message for people with anxiety. Like, hey, look what you're doing to yourself. You're convincing yourself you're like a tortured man in the middle of a Coliseum being judged by everybody, but really, like, this is just you, motherfucker.
But really, you are.
Yeah.
Really, you are.
I would like to think that Ari Aster is like judging people with mental disorders.
I don't.
And condemning them.
I doubt that. I'm just gonna say I highly doubt that.
What did you guys think of? We have a real Spaceballs moment where he's at Nathan Lane's house and he's watching security footage of himself in the real time, and then he fast forwards and we see like scenes throughout all the rest of the movie. Is that some deep metaphorical thing, or is Ari Aster just having fun?
I don't think there's anything deep.
I think it's just that like his life has already like been planned out. His mother is behind everything, has foreseen everything, has like put everything into place. I think you see pictures of Nathan Lane, like every family member, a bunch of the homeless people outside his apartment. Like by the end of the movie, you realize the entire thing has been one long kind of con from his mother to like find all of the ways that he denigrates her, that kind of shit.
Yeah, like basically like it's revealed at the end that like everybody in his life is essentially a paid actor.
Which is a wild idea. It's like the Truman Show, like...
Yeah, it tries to be like the Truman Show or like I rewatched I can never say that. Synecdoche, New York. Kind of like that too.
Now, was the humor of that more your cup of tea, Kino?
It was.
I'll have to check that one out. I still have not seen that one.
That one is a wild movie. I was not like in the right mindset to get that movie when I saw it, but it gave me a lot to think about.
I think it's a movie too. You like is better on a second watch rather than a first watch, because the first watch you're just like it goes at like 90 miles per hour and you're like wait what the fuck, like what's happening right now. But I think that if you go into it knowing all of it, like it's a better watch.
My impression of it on the first watch was it was just a purely nihilistic film.
I don't think it's that. I think it's a little nihilistic, but I think it's a little bit more hopeful than that.
Is it more or less nihilistic than Everything Everywhere All at Once, Kino?
Less.
Okay.
But I also said Everything Everywhere All at Once was absurdist, which is slightly different.
Oh, right.
Nihilistic.
Right. We gotta be specific.
We are neglecting my favorite part of the movie, of this movie, which is Beau going through like every stage of the like mythical, legendary, like kind of like Joseph Campbell.
That was my second least favorite part.
That was your least favorite part. It's
stage
beautifully
play?
animated.
I said second least favorite.
It's beautifully animated. There's such great like looks to it. It has the right amount of like deftness to like kind of swerve away from being entirely what it is. Like you will get her pregnant, like that kind of shit. Like it's great. Why did you dislike that part?
I thought it went on too long, and I thought like it at once is kind of telling you a lot about the movie, but also is kind of a pointless venture. I like the animation of it. It just felt like fat to me. It just felt like fat in the movie. I mean, like I think it should have been. I think it should have been a lot shorter. Like it goes on and on and on. And if it was something that was a bit shorter, I thought it would have been great. But I think
to me, that's like that is what I kind of like boil this movie down to, is that there is a mythical thing that you are trying to achieve in your life, which is live like the perfect way, have all the experiences, live the perfect full life. Beau is the exact opposite of that, and like the moment where he gets snapped out of this like fake reality that he's constructed, which I don't even think the stage play is doing that. I think he just entered into that mind space. It's brilliant. It's like I've done shit like that all the fucking time. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, this movie only works at 3 hours or like something like a very tight 90 minutes. I think if this would had like an hour cut from it, it would have been much more insufferable and probably chaotic in a bad way in terms of the structure.
In a way, you do need to give everything its time to unfold itself, because otherwise, it would be like just so concentrated and so I don't know. It would just be acidic to me. It would be like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, the first 45 minutes are pretty concentrated acidity. To be fair.
But I was laughing at it.
I even felt at 3 hours its acidity was pretty concentrated. I mean, so many of the characters are just outright like evil, like the daughter having like zero humanity to her. Really,
I don't know, Kino. Put yourself in her shoes, man. If you got these parents and they hit some homeless guy with a truck and then give that guy your bedroom and you have to sleep on the couch and you're a teenage girl, you're not going to resent him and be a fucking bitch?
Well, I also want to say she's also a K-pop stan. So just makes her like
she deserves it then.
Books. Yeah.
Ari Aster did a good job of making the deaths simultaneously hilarious, but the actual like look on the faces of the dead people remains very unnerving, with the eyes open and mouth open. And her death in particular, where she's drinking all this blue paint.
Oh God. Yeah.
Pretty great. It was pretty terrific. Pretty terrifying. It reminded me of like a not Goosebumps. Fuck. What was it? Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was like a blue cloud.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. There was a comic book episode with a clown of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
God. I used to watch that. I don't remember that particular one, but oh man,
it echoed
Shit.
that episode. Yeah.
Are there any other sequences that we're missing other than him not going up to the funeral? Penis monster, and that's when the army vet comes in and starts stabbing the testicles, but gets killed pretty instantly.
Well, what do you guys think of the whole subplot about his lost love? When he was a 10-year-old, he went on a cruise with his mom, and he met this girl, and they had this.
Who turns out to be Parker Posey.
Yeah, this spark of a romance, and then she gets torn away from him before they can lose their virginity to each other. It's so tragic, and he waits for her his whole life, and finally she shows up at his mom's funeral, and I thought it was beautiful.
She's mom, so
they're ripping off that Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Oh, so she might have been a plant even as a kid.
Maybe, we don't know.
Or she wasn't a plant and the mom was keeping her away, or wanted to use her, see if like he would say anything more denigrating later.
Has a woman ever played with your heart like this, Kino? Maybe that's why you made the film.
Has a woman ever played with my heart?
Yeah, did you promise your virginity to a 10-year-old long ago? And then...
that happened just last year, didn't
it? When I was that age, I wasn't even thinking about that stuff. So.
Neither was Beau. This chick was all over him, though.
Yeah, I think I would have been more like Beau at that age. I would have been like, what are you doing? Like, this doesn't...
Yeah, I'm actually shocked this is not a literally me movie for you, Kino. I thought you'd be singing Beau's praises and saying, yeah, Beau is the new literally me. I'm going to dress up like Beau. I bought the $80 pajamas off of A24.
Beau was just discount Charlie Kaufman, okay?
That's fine. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix gives a very funny performance. I mean, I'm not going to take that away from him.
It is a truly wild performance from Joaquin Phoenix because he is basically like averbal most of the time. He's like mumbling things a lot of the time.
It reminds me of his performance in Inherent Vice.
This movie kind of reminded me of that, where it's just this odyssey of horrible, weird things happening.
Going from thing to thing. Yeah.
Right. I do think that Ari Aster had the tremendous benefit of having Joaquin Phoenix in this role. I don't know if this movie would have worked without him. If you swapped him in with, like, I don't know, Michael Keaton, I don't know if this movie would work the same way.
You don't think Nicolas Cage could do Beau?
So I think because the world is so elevated, right? Oh God!
I'm just picturing Jared Leto in this movie.
Having somebody like Joaquin who's able to like bring it down a little bit. If you had Nicolas Cage, then you're just it's pure insanity. Then there's nothing accessible there.
What about Tommy Wiseau?
That would be a great. I mean, he should have done
Tom Cruise.
the short film version of this movie, Beau. That Ari.
The 7-minute version.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we fixed the movie then. We just recast it with Tommy Wiseau, and everybody's going to be on board. I'm guessing this is going to get an F- cinema score and flop completely at the box office.
I think it's already flopped because I checked the numbers the other day. I like to keep up with all the box office stuff. And off of a $35 million budget, which means that they probably need to make back around
60
to 60 million.
70 to 70.
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't know how much money they put into marketing, but I'm
very little, very fucking little.
I saw a lot of marketing around it here in Austin, so I'm guessing 15 to 20 million. And then plus, when you have to factor in how much cinemas get versus how much the studios get, it's probably 60 to 70 million that they have to make back. And the last time I checked the numbers, it was at like 6 million made.
Fuck. Yeah. And I don't think the word of mouth is going to save this one.
The word of mouth is not going to save it. And then today, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 opens up, and that's just going to kick fucking everything out of the
That's
cinemas.
right.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to kick Mario out, though. I think Mario's going to have a really long-running
Mario's going to have a long run, but I mean...
9 million people watched Mario on Twitter for free. Why are we still giving this thing money?
Guys, prepare for like the big blockbusters, because it's Guardians 3 this week, and then Fast X in a week or two.
Yeah, I'm not doing
that.
Like,
it's just gonna be like big blockbusters in the cinemas for the next couple months.
Well, to be fair, it looks like Guardians 3 is more of like a torturous, depressing nightmare than like a tentpole blockbuster. So maybe you'll be surprised.
Oh, it's one of those experimental Marvel movies.
30% of it is Rocket Raccoon getting tortured. I'm not joking.
Do you think that they knew this movie was going to bomb? Because this follows the trajectory of so many other filmmakers. PTA doing Boogie Nights. I guess Damien Chazelle doing Babylon only a couple of months ago, where you have this big bloated movie that doesn't really seem to have an audience. And the narrative with this film doesn't really matter. It's just a thin metaphor. They had to have known that this was this was a high risk to not make its money back.
They knew it. And I think that Ari Aster has made his bones with A24, and they were perfectly willing to give him some money, realizing that they're not going to make it back, because he really cemented their brand. Hereditary, I think, was one of their first big hits for the studio, and now suddenly they have Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think they have enough clout and enough, confidence in their brand that this is not going to kill them. They'll release 4 or 5 other movies that cost less and do way more, and they'll be perfectly fine.
A24 releases more movies than people think.
Yeah, right.
They put out a lot of little horror movies, or really little movies that'll easily make their money back. But this is their biggest budgeted film, and Ari Aster was the first of any of the A24 directors to get a budget as big as $35 million. And
what do you think the budget was on their Netflix show Beef? Because that was #1 on Netflix for quite a bit. I wonder if they made a lot of money off that.
Well, if they sold it to Netflix and it's really big on Netflix, I'm guessing they made their money back on it. But I'm not sure. I don't TV shows are different than movies.
Well, it's still the same company, motherfucker. Don't give me that shit.
No, I mean, they said that they said that Beau is Afraid is their biggest budgeted production. So I'm guessing Beef might have a budget of $30 million.
I don't know. It's 10 episodes of prestige television.
But they're shorter. It's only half an hour.
Yeah, that's
one
fair.
Episode being half an hour, being a, $1 to $3 million, that's still pretty high, high budget for that.
Anyway, do we have any final thoughts on Beau is Afraid?
It's terrific. Don't listen to Kino Corner here. He's wrong this time. I think it's a very enjoyable movie. But maybe in a month I'll feel the same way I felt about Hereditary and Midsommar, and I'll agree with Kino. So negate my opinion.
Say I'm wrong.
Well, if you want to hear the real opinion, go to Twitter and type in at the Kino Circle. That account really enjoyed the film.
I heard that Beau is Afraid is the Everything Everywhere All at Once of horror movies.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one because it seems like something you would agree with, just not in the way I'm intending it.
No, I mean, I looked at it and I was puzzled by it, but I thought it was funny.
It's just a movie that everybody likes, but you hate, basically.
Well, no, a lot of people do not like Beau is Afraid.
I only know the 4 people on this podcast. I'm sorry.
It's pretty split.
You guys are the only people I know.
It's pretty split. As far as all the people who I know who've seen it, it's split basically 50-50. People who hate it, people who love it.
Yeah, but your fucking standard was white women in Austin, Texas. I don't really their opinions don't even count as human to me.
In Austin, Texas. I'm talking about my friends. Do you think I hang out with women?
Florian and Erich?
You think I hang out with
I have a lot of friends in real life, but
at church?
Might blow you away.
What did your church-going friends think?
Yeah, what did the people at church think of Beau is Afraid? We were going to record this last Sunday, but Kino had to go to church.
They didn't see it.
Okay.
They're not the kind of people to go to the cinema for a movie like this.
Show it to them.
But what I'm
Bring
saying
it to church.
Look, you even look up, you even look up Letterboxd, or you look up Rotten Tomatoes, and you see that it's split pretty.
It's not fucking split. It's all 4-star reviews.
No.
All the other reviews combined don't add up to the 4-star reviews.
Even the critics are super polarized on it.
Critics can suck my dick. They didn't even like the Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I think the critics did like that one. Actually,
what I'm saying is that it's a pretty polarizing movie, and I went into the film wanting to love it because when a film is polarizing, like there's just something like, you know, you're just like, oh, I want to like champion this film that's like dividing people so much.
Like House of Gucci, right?
Yeah.
Dude, no, House of Gucci is the worst fucking movie I've seen in my life. Like, shut the fuck up about that shit.
No,
Jared
House
Leto
of
was
Gucci
funny,
is
but
very
it was
good, and
literally
it's underrated
it was
film.
literally terrible. It was
Literally
the most torturous
terrible. It's not a
2.5
good argument.
torturous
It's a fun
2.5
movie.
hours.
It's what
not
movie
fun at
should
all.
be.
It's not
Kino's
fun
a
at all.
real firecracker.
It's this clinical take on something that should not be clinical. All blues, all just like on a fucking tripod. Oh my, like, no, I'm not even getting into this.
Jared Leto was Kino in that movie.
I endured this movie for Mumkey, and then after I told him, dude, Mumkey, that was like the worst movie I've seen this year. Mumkey was like, okay, yeah, we won't do the Kino podcast. Like, I'm not watching that. And I felt like I just wasted 3 hours of my life.
Well, you're wrong. That's Ridley Scott's best film by.
All right.
Kino, you said you prefer The Last Duel, right?
I did prefer The Last Duel.
Yeah, there you go.
The Last Duel was fucking great.
Those are the same year, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah, it's the same year.
How did it, was that like a COVID thing, or did he actually just make 2 movies in a year?
Ridley Scott is wild. He makes a lot of movies, and I think because he makes so many movies, and because release dates have to like change or shuffle around, he will sometimes have 2 movies come out in the same year.
Could you imagine if fucking Christopher Nolan dropped 2 new movies in a year? That would shit my pants.
I think it might have been a COVID thing, because I think that Last Duel was supposed to release a year prior or a year and a half prior. Then they pushed it because of COVID, but I'm forgetting. Was that 2020? 2021?
They were both 2021. And
Okay,
Ridley
yeah.
Scott, I think the only other year he released 2 movies was like 89 or something, or it was back in the 80s. But he's had like a pretty consistent stream.
I think it was a COVID thing. I think that, I mean, I could be wrong, but to me, like, there were so many movies in 2021 that were like, oh, this was supposed to release a year ago, you know, and everything got pushed to then. So
yeah, there's some filmmakers like Steven Spielberg and Ridley Scott who make a lot of movies, and like, so Spielberg came out with both Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year.
Oh shit. That's a big year. Wait, speaking of movies that should have already came out, LowRes, do we have any updates on Mass State Lottery?
Oh yeah, we got some updates. It's coming out this year, but listen, I'm gonna turn this into a plug because now I'm paying attention to my Discord, and I did drop on my Discord somebody pretty prominent that's looking at the movie right now. Well, not right now, but they are this week. So it's just a matter still of finding a distributor. The movie's done, and I'm moving on to shooting what's probably going to be 2 new films this year. So I guess I'm aping Ridley Scott here. But I am co-directing one, so it's more like 1.5.
Oh, with Hans?
Fuck no. No, we're going to be shooting something in a couple of weeks called Omega Fish Corp. So that's something.
And E-Rich, you live in the area, so you should go be an extra.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do it. Let's go. Yeah. You can play the fish.
Where in PA?
In PA? Well, tri-state area.
Okay, tri-state area. I can do that.
That'd be so cool if E-Rich just showed up.
You're more than welcome.
On the set.
You would inspire at least 5 people to watch it if you could say E-Rich is in it. So how can you resist?
There we go.
So that's LowRes's plug. Kino, what do you have going on?
I'm also working on 2 features this year, actually. One with Spencer. I was just up at his place in Connecticut that LowRes didn't show up for.
Spencer of Spencer's Gifts?
He bailed out.
Which Spencer? Who's the Spencer guy?
Spencer was the special effects wizard on Mass State Lottery who did a lot of the cool prosthetic effects. And I saw you guys had gotten to meet Charles from $1 Million Experience.
Yeah.
Looks like it was a fun.
We met up with Charles and Jet and Vic. Yeah, so I'm helping out producing, I guess, he's doing like a gore horror movie that's a la Man Bites Dog sort of thing, I guess. So I'm producing that, I think, later this summer. We're working with Massacre Video on that one. And then, yeah, I'm working on a script with, I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of a Schrader-esque script that I'm hoping to shoot later this year. But
and that's a collaboration with the Anti-Reviews YouTube channel?
It's a collaboration with Eggy.
Oh, shit.
And with Charles. Yeah, when I was at Charles's place, he and I talked about the script at length, and it looks like he might be down. So,
and you've also got some videos with Emp Lemon coming out soon too, right?
Yeah. So I've got check out Emp's channel for the Downward Drive and the Downward Diary. We did 2, and on my channel. Tonight for patrons. Well, it's probably gonna be tonight or either tomorrow.
Hey, this shit's not coming out till Monday.
No. I just gave up. Oh, okay. So it's probably already out. But I gave up masking him. I just told him last night. I was like, I'm not doing this shit. And then
Emp Lemon. If you ever do a collab with him, he expects you to know how to make his skin green for the whole video. If you watch Boss Baby 2 is a Kino, you can see I did not even bother trying. And now Kino is facing the same fate.
I spent 6 hours masking.
Are you kidding? 6 fucking? Did you really? 6 fucking hours of your life you spent on this shit?
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And then I looked at how far I was into the video, and I was 1 minute into a 30-minute video.
Kino, I don't know if I could lose respect for you anymore. What the fuck? Why would you do that?
Because.
Fuck Emp Lemon, you're gonna waste hours of your life to make him fucking green? What the fuck?
Well, and then I looked at it, I thought that I was moving a lot faster than I was, and I realized, oh yeah, I'm going frame by frame, so.
What the hell,
literally
dude?
Making no progress here at all. And so I was just like, fuck this, so I just deleted the mask. And, I just deleted the mask and went home, and I'm like, no, his skin won't be green.
LowRes, is there an easier way to just, like in 2 clicks, make his skin green?
No. Yeah, you go to Fiverr.com and hire an Indian to do that.
Yeah, there you
go.
So the issue for it is that it actually would have been really easy if not for the background, where the tables that he was sitting in front of, because we were at my office, had the exact same skin tone as him.
You bought Asian colored tables?
It's like kind of like slightly brown, but when you see them on the monitor, and you try to isolate his skin tones to turn the hue green, it turns all the tables. Like even if I mask it, like so it's not going to affect me or whatever, but it turns all the tables green. And it just looks really bad.
You should have just put a green filter over the entire thing so that everything is green and just say fuck it.
No, fuck that. I'd rather there be like clarity and actually like colors.
That's insanity. E-Rich, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I'm going to be making a movie with Florian. We're going to be making a Taxi Driver remake. He's not going to drive a taxi, but he is going to make Ballfrog 2, and one of his sugar babies is going to convince him to kill... who's the president of Germany right now? I can't fucking remember.
It's not Angela Merkel, is it?
It was Angela Merkel, but I don't think so anymore.
No, she hasn't been the president for some time.
Maybe he wants to kill her anyway.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna kill Angela Merkel. He doesn't know any better.
Nah, she deserves it. She knows what she did.
He's gonna try to kill Robert Eggers because the Northman is so gross.
Yeah, for the Northman. Yeah.
Well, 3 great plugs, everybody. I'll have links in the description to all the important shit. And I think that's it for Beau is Afraid. LowRes, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me on again.
Go check out his podcast. I'll plug his show, Movies. Also on Spotify, not just YouTube. I found that out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we're on everything.
Speaking of Spotify, Erich, I mean, I was going to save this for another time, but I just wanted to mention, I was looking through the Is It Kino Spotify, just to see where we began, our humble roots. For some reason, the first 120 episodes that got deleted 5 years ago were all on Spotify.
Oh, shit. Someone did the noble deed.
It's from you! All the descriptions were written by you!
What?
Yes!
But how to get on Spotify? I didn't do that.
I don't know! I don't fucking know!
Holy fuck.
I think our Podbean must just be hooked up to Spotify.
Yeah, so somebody must have just thrown the RSS feed into Spotify, and it just ended up there.
Yeah, so if you want to hear our episodes from like 2017, 2018 era, you can go listen to those on Spotify. But I was shocked, Rich, that like all the episodes are like 15, 16, 17 minutes.
We need to get back to that. I think we should return to
but the funny thing was though, like for the first 30 episodes of the show, like every episode's less than 20 minutes, and then we hit Sherlock Gnomes and it's 1 hour 15 minutes.
That was our D-Day.
I definitely know that Erich came up with this one. May the 4th be with you. That's definitely an Erich.
That's on the Kino Circle tweet.
Yeah.
Oh
May the 4th be with you.
You should all go out and buy some Star Wars merch now.
Yeah. So everybody go check out the old episodes of Is It Kino and let us know what our bad takes were. I'm gonna end the episode with this, Rich, because you're not gonna like this. But I clicked on the episode called Blackest Panther, where it's the third time in a row that we reviewed Black Panther. And when I introduce you, do you remember what you said as your introduction, Rich?
Oh no, I'm cringing more than I did watching Beau is Afraid.
You said, "Gibbs me dat." So Erich has changed quite a bit.
Oh my god.
Bye everybody.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Poor Erich. Found out he's a racist.
Holy fuck.